Hello all and welcome to this AWS tutorial on VPC peering. Today we will see how we can peer two VPCs to two subnets in one VPC. Before we jump into the demo, let us review the architectural diagram and the route table. So as you see, we have three VPCs right here. We have VPC A. Let me grab my highlighter. So there it is. That's my spotlight right there. So as you see, we have VPC A right here. And VPC A has a CIDR block of 172.16.0.0/16. We have VPC B. VPC B has a CIDR block of 10.0.0.0/16. And we have VPC C, which also has the same CIDR block of 10.0.0.0/16. In our VPC A, we have two subnets and both the subnets are private. As you see, we have private subnet X and we have private subnet Y. The CIDR block of private subnet X is 172.16.0.0/24 and the subnet block of private subnet Y is 172.16.1.0/24. Similarly, we have a public subnet over here in VPC B, and the CIDR block of a public subnet is 10.0.0.0/24. And as you see, the reason I said this is a public subnet is because I do have an internet gateway connected to my VPC B. Similarly, over here, as you see, in VPC C, I have one public subnet right there. Okay, sorry, I lost my spotlight. So I have one public subnet right there over here. And the CIDR block of this particular public subnet is similar to the VPC B CIDR block, that is 10.0.0.0/24. Again, this is a public subnet because I do have an internet gateway connected to my VPC. Okay, so as a part of our VPC peering tutorial, what we will be doing is we will be establishing a peering connection between our VPC A private subnet X and our VPC B public subnet. As well as we will be establishing another peering connection between our VPC A private subnet Y and our VPC C public subnet right there. And we will be giving them names as PCX, as you see, 4 A's and 4 B's, and PCX, again, 4 A's and 4 C's, okay? I mean, you could pretty much give any name that you like. It's totally up to you. Now, for this particular demo, I will be basically provisioning these VPCs in 3 different regions. Like, for example, I will be provisioning VPC A in North Virginia, VPC B in Ohio, and VPC C in Northern California. You could have these VPCs in one single region. You could have them in different regions as per your choice. You could have them in totally different AWS account and the same region. It's totally up to you. But for this particular demo, I will be provisioning all these 3 VPCs in my own account, but in 3 different regions. Okay. And I think we've reviewed through the entire diagram right there. So after we have established our VPCs and peering connections between them, in order to test whether these VPCs can truly communicate with each other, we will be launching a couple of EC2 instances in each of the subnets. So as you see, we will launch an EC2 instance in both our private subnets and as well as our public subnets. And if these VPCs are truly peered to each other, we should be able to communicate with our EC2 instance in our private subnet via our EC2 instance in our public subnet. Okay, that's basically an EC2 instance in our VPC B. We should be able to SSH into our EC2 instance in our private subnet X. Now for this demo, all the EC2 instances that I will be provisioning are going to be Linux instances, but you could pretty much use any other instance type that you like. You use Windows or you could use anything else. Okay, so let's get started with this particular demo. So let me switch to my AWS account. This is my AWS account right here. And I'm currently, as you see, I'm in region North Virginia. And this is the region where we will be creating our VPC A. So let's go ahead and create our VPC. So let's click on create VPC. And I'm going to give it the name as VPC A. And the CIDR block of our VPC is going to be 172.16.0.0/16. And I'm going to let the tenancy be default. Let's click on yes, create. And as you see, our VPC got created. Okay, so after we have created our VPC, the next thing that we will do in this VPC is basically go ahead and create two subnets. So let's go ahead and create a subnet. And remember, this VPC is private, and so are the subnets going to be private. So we are not going to provision any internet gateway. So let's click on create subnet, and I'm going to give it the name VPC A. As you see, at subnet, I'm going to say private subnet X, and I'm going to say VPC A right here. Okay. And you could choose any availability zone. I'm going to choose US East 1A. And our subnet CIDR block is going to be 172.16.0.0/24. And let's click on create. So this is going to be our subnet X. So our subnet has got created. Similarly, we will create a subnet Y, which is also going to be a private subnet. So we're going to give it the name VPCA, private subnet Y, VPCA, availability zone. I'm going to put it in 1B, and I'm going to give it the CIDR block of 172.16.1.0/24. And click on create. So as you see, both our subnets got created. I'm going to give it a filter of VPCA. And as you see, these are both our subnets are right here. Okay, awesome. So both our subnets got created. Now let's see which is the next VPC that we have. So let's go back to our diagram. So as you see, we created basically, let me grab my pen right there. So we went ahead and created VPCA. We created subnet subnet X in VPCA and subnet Y in VPCA. We are yet to create our route tables, but we will shortly get there. Okay, so the next thing that we will do is we'll go ahead and create VPCB and its public subnet. So let me clear my drawings and go back to mouse. Okay, so let me switch back to my AWS account, and I will be creating VPCB in region US East Ohio. So let me switch my regions, and that's where we are going to create a VPC. So let's click on create VPC. It's going to be VPCB, and the CIDR block of this VPC is going to be 10.0.0.0/16. And the tenancy is going to be default. Let's click on yes, create. Now both VPCB and VPCC have public subnets. That essentially means that we need to provision an internet gateway and associate it to our VPC. So let's go ahead and do that. So click on internet gateway, create internet gateway, and I'm going to say VPCB-IGW. Okay, and let's click on create. That's our internet gateway right there. is currently detached. So let's go ahead and attach it to a VPC, and we are going to select a VPC-B right there and click on attach. Okay, so after we have created a VPC, added an internet gateway, let's click on subnets and create one public subnet. Okay, so it's going to be, the subnet is going to be VPC B hyphen public subnet, and we're going to create this in VPC B. The CIDR block, our availability zone is going to be, I'm going to put it in US East 2A, and I'm going to give it a CIDR block of 10.0.0.0/24 and click on create. Okay, and close. So there it is. That's where our subnet is right there. Okay, and we do have internet gateway connected. Okay, so let's switch back to our drawing, and let me grab my pencil. So what we went ahead and we did was we created this VPC with this CIDR block and this particular subnet. What we need to do now is we need to create VPC-C with this particular CIDR block. And again, it has an internet gateway. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so let me go ahead and clear my drawings with my mouse and shift back to my AWS account. So I'm going to create my VPC-C in Northern California. So let's select Northern California and click on your VPCs, click on create VPC and give it the name VPC-C right there. The CIDR block is same, so it's going to be 10.0.0.0/16. So both VPC-B and VPC-C have the same CIDR block. The tenancy is going to be default and click on yes, create. So as you see, our VPC got created. Now again, this VPC is going to have public access. So I'm going to add internet gateway. So let's click on internet gateways right there. Click on create internet gateway. And I'm going to say VPC-C IGW and click on create. And that's where our internet gateway is. As you see, our internet gateway is detached. So we need to go ahead and attach it to our VPC-C. So I'm going to click on attach to VPC and select VPC-C right here and click on attach. Okay, so our internet gateway got created and attached to our VPC. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to go ahead and provision our subnet. So let's click on subnets and click on create subnet. And I'm going to give it a name, VPC-C public subnet. And we're going to select VPC-C right there. It's up to you, whatever availability zone you want to select. I'm going to select US West 1B. And I'm going to give this subnet the CIDR block of 10.0.0.0/24 and click on create. And that's where our subnet is right there. Okay, and we can always filter it by its name tag, say VPC-C, hit enter, and that's where our subnet is. Okay, so let's switch back to our pretty picture. So this is our drawing. And as you see, what we have done so far is we have provisioned all the VPCs, all three VPCs, that is A, B, and C. We have created subnets, both private subnets in A and public subnet in both B and C. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to take care of our route tables. So as you see in VPC-A, we have two route tables, one that is associated with our subnet X and the other one that is associated with our subnet Y. And in VPC-B, we have only one particular route table which should be provisioned. And again, in VPC-C, we have only one route table which should be provisioned. So let's go ahead and look at that. So we are currently in our Northern California region where we have our VPCC. So let's click on our VPCs, and this is our route table right here. So let's click on our route table, and this is our route table. So I'm going to give it VPCC, and I believe the name of the route table was public subnet RT. So I'm going to give it VPCC public subnet RT. Okay, click on yes, and as you see, our local route, as expected, is present right there. And do we have any subnet associations? Not yet. So let's go ahead and click on edit, associate a subnet, and click on save. So as you see, our subnet is now associated and a route is present. So let me switch back. So essentially we have our subnet associated and we have our local route. The next thing that we need to do is, remember, we had added internet gateway because this VPC does have internet connectivity. So we need to go ahead and add route to our internet gateway. So let's go ahead and do that. So click on edit, add another route, and it's going to be 0.0.0.0/0. And as you see, we do get internet gateway as an option. Select that and click on save. Okay, so our route table for our VPCC is almost ready. Only thing that is missing is this peering connection, and that is only going to be established once we peer our VPCs. Okay, so the next thing that we will do is we will go ahead and work on our route table for our VPC B. So let's switch to region Ohio right here. And this is our VPC B, and this is the associated route table. So let's click on that. And the name of this particular route table is going to be VPC B public subnet RT. Okay, so again, we need to go and check what routes we have. As you see, we have the default route and we don't have any subnets associated. So we need to go ahead and associate our subnet to this particular route table. So click on edit, select a subnet, click on save. And as you see, our subnet is now associated with this particular route table. And again, VPC-B, just like VPCC, has internet access. So we need to add our route, basically going to our internet gateway. So that's basically for any non-local traffic being directed out to internet. So let's switch back, click on edit, under routes, click add another route, 0.0.0.0/0. And there it is. There is our VPC-B internet gateway. Let's select that and click on save. So as you see, we have our local route and we have a route going to our internet gateway, which is essentially the first and the third route. And the second route over here is actually the peering connection, and that will be established once we have a peering connection in place. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to work on our route tables for our VPCA for both private subnet X and our private subnet Y. So let's switch back. Let's change our region to Northern Virginia. Now, and let's select our VPC. So this is our VPCA. And as you see, we do have one route table associated to our VPC right now. So let's click on this route table. Okay, and I'm going to give it a name. You can give it any name. So you can say VPC A, and I'm going to say private subnet XRT. Okay, and click yes. And let's check the routes. As you see, we only have the default local route in over here. And let's check on our subnet associations. So as you see, we do not have any subnet associated to this. But since we've given the name subnet X, we will go ahead and associate our subnet X to this particular route table. So let's click on edit and let's select our private subnet X and click on save. So as you see, our subnet is now associated to our VPC, and we still just have the default route. Now this particular VPC is totally private. It does not have any internet connectivity. The next thing that we do need to do is we need to create a route table for our subnet Y. So let's click on create route table, and we are going to give it the name VPCA private subnet YRT, and we're going to associate it to a VPCA and click on yes, create. Okay, so I'm going to set a filter over here. Okay, right there. So we have this right here, VPCA private subnet YRT. I missed a space, let me correct that. Okay, click yes. Okay, so we have selected our route table. As you see, by default, it has the local route to the VPC, but it does not have any subnets associated to itself. So let's go ahead and click on edit, and we will select our private subnet Y right here, click on save. And there it is. So we have associated our private subnet Y to our route table right here. Okay, so let's switch back to our route table. So as you see, we have the local route for both our private subnet X and our private subnet Y route tables. And the other two routes are basically for the peering connections, and they will be established once we have that in place. So let's go back to our diagram on left. So if you see, we have established our VPC with our subnets and our route table as well. Right here, we have our VPC with a subnet and its route table, and we have VPCA with both the subnets and both the route tables, okay, except for the peering connections. So obviously the next thing that we need to do is we need to establish the peering connection between A and B. Okay, and this is going to be the name of a peering connection right there. Okay, so let me clear all my drawings and switch back to my AWS account. So this is my AWS account right here, and I am basically in region North Virginia, and this is our VPCA right here. And what we are going to do is we are going to initiate a VPC connection, basically a peering connection to our VPC-B. So let's go ahead and click on peering connections. And let's click on create peering connection. And we are going to give this a name as PCX-AAA BBB. There you go. And the request is going to be a VPCA right there. And again, it gives you an option, as I said earlier as well. Is it the VPC that you're peering to, is that in the same account or is that in a different account? So in my case, it's in the same account, but it's in a different region. So I'm going to select my account and another region, and my VPC-B is in US East to Ohio. So I'm going to let that remain. What we need to provide over here is the VPC ID, and we will have to go to basically switch our, if I switch, I'll lose everything maybe. So let me see if I can create, open another tab right there. Okay, so there it is. So this is my another tab, and I'm going to switch my regions right here to East Ohio. And then I'm going to go and click on our VPCs, go to VPC-B, and copy this VPC ID right here. And again, I'm going to go to my peering connection, And I'm going to paste this VPC ID here and then click on create peering connection. And as you see, our peering connection got created and actually shows you all the details of the requester and the acceptor VPC. So in this case, the requester is VPC A and the acceptor VPC will be VPC B. So let's go ahead and click on OK. So as you see, our peering connection is currently in pending acceptance status, and this will become active once our VPC B goes ahead and accepts this VPC peering request. Okay, so let's go to our region, Ohio, where we have our VPC B right there. And let's go ahead and click on peering connections. And as you see, we do have a pending acceptance request. And I'm going to go ahead and name this VPC connection with the same name so that we don't get confused, and click on yes. And let's filter it by its name tag, and there it is. So as you see, currently it's in a pending acceptance status. And the moment I accept it, you will be able to see the acceptor VPC CIDR block, and the status will become active. So let's go ahead and accept this VPC peering connection request. So let's click on actions, then click on accept request and say yes, accept, click on close. And as you see, the status is active. And now you're able to see the acceptor VPC CIDR block as well. Okay, so let's go back to our region, North Virginia, where we have our VPCA. And as you see, it is currently still showing in pending acceptance. But once I refresh it, then you will see that the status is active, and we can see the CIDR block of our acceptor VPC as well. Okay, so let's go back to our diagram. And as you see, let me grab my pen right there. So what we have done is we have created this peering connection, and this peering connection is now active. Next thing that we will do is we'll create this peering connection between VPC A and VPC C, and we will activate this peering connection. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So again, we are in our region, North Virginia. Let me switch back to my VPCs. It's right there. So this is our VPCA, and then go back to peering connections. And we are going to create a new request right here. And we are going to give it the name as PCX-AAA CCC. There you go. And the requester is going to be VPCA. And again, it is the VPCC is in my account, but in a different region. So I'm going to select my account and another region. The region for VPCC is Northern California. And again, we will need to go and copy the VPC ID from Northern California. So I'm going to go back over here, change this to Northern California, and go to my VPCs, click on VPCC, and go ahead and copy this VPC ID and switch back to my peering request and paste this VPC ID right here and click on create peering connection. So as you see, our connection request was successful, and we can click on OK. And as you see, currently it is in a pending acceptance status. Okay, and we can now see the acceptor VPC CIDR block. Okay, so now let's go back to our California region, and as you see, our region over here is Northern California. Let's click on peering connections, and we do have a pending request, and I'm going to name this the same, AAA and CCC. Okay, so as you see, our request is in pending acceptance, and we can now see acceptor VPC CIDR block. So let's go ahead and accept this request. So let's click on accept request, click yes, accept, close, and the connection is active and established, and you can see acceptor VPC CIDR block right there. So if we go back to our North Virginia region right here and refresh this, this connection status should now be active. As you see, it's active, and you can see acceptor VPC CIDR block at the bottom. Okay, so this is our architectural diagram again. So essentially what we have done is we have basically created this entire skeleton other than the EC2 instances in this diagram. But before we go ahead and launch our EC2 instances, remember, we have to go ahead and revise our route tables, okay? So we need to go ahead and add this particular route to our subnet X, add our peering connection to our subnet Y, that is for peering connection between A and C. Again, we need to go ahead and modify our public subnet route for VPC B and add peering connection between VPC A and B right here. And we need to modify our route table for VPC C public subnet and add the peering connection for between VPC A and VPC C. So let's go ahead and modify our route tables. Okay, so let me switch back to my AWS account. So we are currently in Northern Virginia, where we have our VPC A and we have our route tables right here. Okay, so let's select our VPC A subnet X RT, and let's click on routes and let's click on edit. Now, if you remember, our subnet X is VPC'd, or we have a VPC connection to VPC B. So we need to select PCX AB peering connection. So let's click on add another route, and we are going to put in the CIDR block of our VPC B right here, /16. And when you come here, we need to select our VPC peering connection between our VPC A and our VPC B, which is this one. So let's go ahead and click on save right there. So as you see, we have two routes right in here, just like for we have over here, we have the local route and we have the route going to PCX AB. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and modify the route for our VPC subnet Y. And again, we are going to click on edit, add another route, and we are going to add basically key in the CIDR block for our VPC C, and that is 10.0.0.0/16. But we will select the peering connection to our VPC C. So let's go ahead and select PCX-AC right there and click on save. So if you see, for our subnet Y, we have two routes, the local route and the route going to our VPC C, which is essentially these two routes right here, as you can see where my mouse is. Okay. The next thing that we need to do is we need to go ahead and modify our route table for our VPC B. So this is our route table for our VPC B. We need to go ahead and click on routes and click on edit and add another route right here. And this route is going to go back to our VPC A. And the CIDR block for VPC A is 172.16.0.0/16. And this needs to go back to our peering connection between our VPC A and B, which is PCX-AB. So let's select that and click on save. So as you see, we have three routes right in over here: the local, our internet gateway route, and our peering connection route. So just like how we have over here, we have a local, a peering connection, and our internet gateway route. The order really doesn't matter. Okay, so let's switch our region to Northern California, where we have a VPC C. Okay, and this is our route table for VPC C. So let's select that, click on routes, click on edit, and we need to add a route going back to our VPC A. So let's click on another route and we need to key in the CIDR block of our VPCA, which is 172.16.0.0/16. And we need to select our peering connection between our VPCA and C, which is PCX-AC. So let's select that and click on Save. So as you see, we have 3 routes right in over here. And we have 3 routes over here for VPCC: local, peering, and internet gateway. Local, internet gateway, and our peering connection between A and C. So essentially, we have basically set up this entire route table, and all our VPCs and our subnets are connected with each other, and they should be able to communicate with each other. So let us go ahead and test that. So in order to test that, what we will be doing is we will launch an EC2 instance in each of the subnets. So a total of 4 instances, 1 in each subnet. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to switch back to my Northern Virginia, where we have a VPCA. And I'm going to go ahead and select EC2 and click on Launch Instance. I'm going to use free tier, and I'm going to launch an EC2 Linux instance. So let's click on Select T2 Micro. Okay, 1 instance, select VPC as VPCA. And I'm going to select it. I'm going to provision this in my private VPC, and everything else is going to remain default. Next. I'm going to create a new security group. So I'm going to say VPC ASG, and I'm going to enable basically port SS22 to SSH into this particular EC2 instance, and say review and launch. So let's go ahead and review and launch now. Okay, and I'm going to use my existing key pair, which is AWS key pair, and click on launch instances. So our instance has been launched right here. Okay, so VPC A EC2. And this EC2 was launched in subnet X. Okay, so it's coming up. Let's go ahead and launch another instance. Again, free tier, EC2, Linux, general purpose. Everything is saved. I'm going to go and select VPCA. And this time I'm going to provision this instance in subnet Y. And next. Security group, I have an existing security group. So I'm going to use VPC ASG, review and launch, select my AWS key pair, and click on launch instances. So as you see, our instance has been launched. This is VPCA, EC2, subnet Y. And again, our instance is coming up. So I'm going to say name is VPCA. And we should be able to see both our instances running right here. And again, these instances just have public IP addresses, as you can see. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to go ahead and provision a public instance in Ohio. So let's go ahead and click on launch instance right here. Free tier. Again, this is going to be a Linux instance. Select. Next, it's going to be 1. I'm going to launch it in my VPC-B in my public subnet. But this time, I'm going to enable public IP address. I'm going to say auto assign public IP enable. Click on add storage. I'm going to leave that default. Security group, I'm going to create a new security group. So this is going to be VPC B SG. And again, I'm going to enable port 22 and click on review and launch. I do have a key pair in my Ohio region. So I'm going to use the very same key pair. Click on acknowledge and click on launch instances right there. So there you have, and we are going to give this VPC B EC2. And we only have one subnet, so it doesn't matter. There you go. So it's coming up. Okay, so by the time this instance comes up, let's go ahead and provision another public instance in Northern California and VPCC. So launch instance, free tier. I'm going to select free tier right there. Select next. That's going to select VPCC. Again, public subnet. I'm going to enable auto assign public IP. And then rest all is all default. Add storage. Default. Create a security group right here. So I'm going to give it VPCC-SG. I'm going to enable port 22. Click review and launch. Launch. I do have a key pair in California, so I'm going to use that. Click on acknowledge and launch instances. So essentially, we have launched a total of 4 instances in each of these subnets. So one over here. Let me grab my spotlight. So one over here in this public subnet, one here, and one in private subnet X, and one in private subnet Y. So we have a total of 4 EC2 instances currently running. Okay, so let's switch back. And now what we will do is we will basically SSH into our public EC2 instance and VPC-B, and then try and connect, basically SSH into our EC2 instance in our VPC-A's private subnet X. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So let's switch to Ohio. Okay, and I'm going to go back to EC2. My instance should be up and running. As you see, it's still initializing, but I do have a public IP, so I'm going to go ahead and copy that. And then we are going to use basically PuTTY to connect to this particular EC2 instance. So let's try and do that. So I'm going to copy my IP address right here. I'm going to increase the font size so that you can read easily. And then I'm going to use my key pair to log in. So this is my Ohio private key. Click on open. As you see, our instance is up and it's right there. I'm going to use the default EC2-user to log in. Click on enter and we are connected. So we could easily SSH into our instance in our VPC-B because it has internet connectivity. Now from here, because since we have a peering connection between B and A, we should be able to SSH into our private instance right here in our subnet X in VPC-A. So let's go ahead and grab its IP address. So this is a Northern Virginia. This is a VPC-A with our instance and VPC-A subnet X, and this is its private IP address. So let's copy that. Okay. And I'm going to copy that and keep it over here in a notepad. Okay. So before we continue with our SSH, remember we need the private key, basically the PEM file, to log in into this EC2 instance. So we will have to create that particular key on this EC2 instance right here. So in order to do that, let's switch to our root account. Okay, so I'm switched to my root account, and then I'm going to say vim AWS key pair, which is my key pair in my North Virginia region that I used for VPC-A. So I'll hit enter. Okay, so let's go back right here and key pairs, and this is my AWS key pair, and this is my AWS key pair PEM right there. So I'm going to open this in my notepad, and what we need to do is just Control A, select everything, copy this, go back to our PuTTY, click on insert and click on right click, and everything is going to be copied. Hit escape and then type in colon WQ, small w, small q, hit enter. And as you see, our key pair got created right there. So now we should be good to SSH in. But before we do that, we need to change the read permissions. So let's go ahead and change the permissions on this file to 600 key pair. And there you go. So now let's SSH into our private instance. So the command for that is SSH -I, and then our AWS key pair, and then EC2 -user @ and let's copy our private instance ID. There it is, copied, paste it right here and hit enter. It's saying, are you sure you want to connect? I'm going to hit yes. Someone say yes, and there you are. So we are connected to our EC2 instance that is launched in our VPCA private subnet X successfully. Okay, so just like how we connected from our, let me grab my pencil right there. So we basically SSH'd in from our EC2 instance in our private public subnet to our EC2 instance in our private subnet X right here. Similarly, what we will do is we will SSH from our EC2 instance in our public subnet in VPC-C to our private subnet instance in our VPCA private subnet Y. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll clear my drawings, switch back to my AWS account and switch to Northern California where we have a VPC-C. We need the IP address of our instance running over here. So this is our VPC-C -EC2. Okay. So this is our instance running right here, and this is its public IP address. So let's copy that. And then I am basically going to go to my California key pair, run putty right from right there. Copy my IP address, increase the font. So I'm gonna make it bold, 16. Okay, and select my key. So this is my AWS California key pair right there. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. This is my private key pair. Click on open, open, and there you are. We are connected to our EC2 instance and VPC-C. So we're going to log in with EC2 -user, and we are logged in. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do again is we need to connect from here to our EC2 instance in our VPCA private subnet Y. And before we do that, we need to create our key pair file over here. So in order to do that, let's switch to our root user. This is our root user. We're going to do the same steps. Vim AWS key pair. Okay, go back. And where is my key pair? Right there. This is my key pair. Copy it. Come back here. Hit insert. Right click, copy, hit escape, colon WQ, and hit enter. So there it is. Our key pair is right there. We are going to modify its read-write access. So this is AWS key pair right there. Okay. And then finally, we need to go back and get the IP address of our North Virginia EC2 instance launched in our subnet Y. So right there, let's copy this IP address and switch back. And now we will SSH into this instance. So the command for that is SSH minus I, and then our key pair, AWS key pair, EC2 hyphen user @ and copy IP address and hit enter. We'll say yes. And as you see, we have successfully connected to our EC2 instance in a private subnet Y in VPCA. So let's switch back to our picture. So we were basically able to establish both connections from our VPCA to VPCB to VPCA private subnet X and our VPCC to VPCA private subnet Y successfully. So that's it from me, guys. Hope this helped you to clear your fundamentals for VPC peering. And this is a pretty common scenario, especially in a lot of public production environments. You will see this. And do let me know if you have any experience working on a similar scenario. I'll be more than happy to listen to your comments. Please provide feedback. If you want me to create videos on any specific topic, do let me know. And if you would like to know, what other videos I am creating or I have created, please subscribe to my channel. There are several videos already posted on my channel, and that can help you learn AWS and overall cloud computing easily. Okay, so that's it from me, guys. I'm going to take your leave today. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.